Hey, folks, my guest today is Michael Hamilton. He's the founder and CEO of Peeva. That's Peeva. Before tuning into entrepreneurship, he developed more than a decade of experience in New York managing litigation support and e-discovery projects for some of the nation's largest law firms and corporations. All right, Michael, you ready to take us to the top?
Sure. Yeah,
What,
absolutely.
what's an e-discovery project?
Electronic data discovery, it's just glorified photocopying in electronic format.
There you go. Okay, so loop this now into what Peeva is working on and how this has to do with pets and microchips.
It really has absolutely nothing to do with it other than ultimately dealing with large data sets. The pet problem is ultimately a data problem. The field of veterinary care in general is extremely fragmented. It lags behind other industries technologically. And to resolve the problem over missing pets, you have to resolve the data problem. That's what we're essentially doing with a critical mass of data. Piva is a universal pet tracking system. So we can read any brand of microchip. Our microchips can be read by any brand of scanner. We're the first to read, record, analyze, catalog any brand of microchip, regardless of the manufacturer. And we pair literally millions of pet microchip IDs with pet medical records in one centralized location. So that streamlines veterinarian shelter workflow to ensure that microchips are scanned and pet owners are instantly notified the exact second that their pet's microchips are scanned. So we're essentially B2C and we're B2B, right?
Yep.
So that might get a little confusing when you want to start talking about percentages, ARR and MRR and all that fun
I
stuff.
would say I'd say you're B2B, but really then it's C to D, consumer to dog, right? Flushing that out.
Yeah.
Help me understand. People are going to hear microchips. They're going to go, wait a second. So let me just sort of break this down and try and dumb it down for me. If I have a great golden retriever, he sees the vet once every 2 months. Sometimes if it's a different vet though, because I'm on vacation or I'm moving around. How do you incentivize vets to submit the data? It could be different vets to your central database that then shows on the microchip.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. With every hospital that we onboard, we take a hard look at their data. Right. So we have a breakdown of every pet, that has a microchip, the brand of microchip, every pet that does not have a microchip, the breakdown of how many pets, how often they're seen that year. So we know exactly what we're getting into. So we're essentially providing a service for them by, pulling all this data together. Right. And then, we're able to garner a critical mass because every pet that is already chipped with another brand is auto-enrolled into Piva at no cost to the hospital or the pet owner. They just have to kind of confirm their accounts, right? But that's really, really important because...
Well, Michael, wait, are you an do you also make your own chips or are you just aggregating other people's chip data?
We distribute our own chips. We do not manufacture our own chips. We distribute them.
I see.
We will register any brand of microchip. And to offset that upfront cost, right? Vets are required to scan every pet or vet techs, every pet that comes into their office. And then vet techs had, a line list of 6 or 7 bullet points, the benefits of microchipping, and specifically microchipping with Piva. They then register the pet on site, and then we bill the vet.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay. Yellow is what private equity. And red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Got it. So what brand, I'm looking at your website right now. This is very interesting. It almost looks like a turkey syringe, ISO compliant transponder that holds it looks like a pill almost. Who's manufacturing these for you?
A company called Wuxi in Shanghai.
Okay. I'm less interested in who they are. I'm more interested in why you pick them.
Our electrical engineers, we just vetted everybody out. It was very important that they have what is called an ISO certification. See, in the States, part of the problem is not all microchips can be read by all microchip scanners because there's multiple distributors, multiple frequencies. So, in Canada and the UK and everywhere else, they have a specific frequency. So we chose that brand over the others to truly be a universal microchip. But we can also read any other brand of microchip as well.
Yeah. What does one of these things cost you?
Me?
Well, not you, but the company, Piva. What do you pay?
It's a volume game. I mean, if you got them individually, they'd be really expensive, but literally less than $1, like 60 cents. I mean, when you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of these things, they can come down in cost considerably.
Okay, interesting. So when you first launched, I'm gonna get your origin story here in a second, but when you first launched, what was the order size you got as your sort of first, slot of inventory? Are we talking like 1,000 or 10,000 or a million or what?
No, 4,000 chips.
Okay, interesting. And so that cost you what? Something like $4,000?
A little more than that at the time, maybe closer to 6.
Okay. So you don't have a real capital allocation problem here. That's not that's an upfront cost, but it's not a heavy upfront cost.
No. I mean, it's a volume game. It really truly is.
Yeah.
But, in regards to our actual launch date, I mean, basically I started Piva LLC, from a 1-bedroom apartment, years ago, but we didn't actually start taking in revenue till late 2018. This has been very, very lean. It's been bootstrapping. My brother and I like to call it drip financing, if you will. So based on meeting milestones and having certain needs, then we throw more money in. And it got pretty expensive. I mean, it was initially all my money in the beginning.
How much did you put in yourself?
A couple $100,000.
Did it make you nervous? Did that make you nervous at the time?
No, it really didn't, because I just had so much support at that time from the University of Buffalo. I mean, academic chairs. I mean, this was after a root cause analysis. I had, it was offset by different grants. I also had buy-in from, a highly regarded veterinarian here that sold off 2 practices to a major corporation. And then, once I started putting my own money in, it was just it's kind of like a no-lose situation. Plus I was a single guy at the time, just loved my dog. When I was a little kid, my dog was stolen, never got him back. I identified the problem. And this truly is the only way to resolve the problem.
Yeah. Okay. This makes sense. So grants, your own money at the beginning, 2015 got going, 2018 was first revenue. How many chips now have been installed via Piva?
Um, our chips, well, a lot of them have been distributed. As far as how many have actually been implanted, we estimate I would say, around 176,000.
Wow. And how many have you shipped?
A little under 300,000.
Interesting. So why would someone ask to be shipped one, but then get nervous about actually installing it?
It's not that at all. The problem is there are free microchip registries. One in particular, has a class action lawsuit against it right now. They actually got shut down. They were marketing themselves as a benefit to the public good by offering free registrations, but essentially they were just building up marketing lists. I mean, think about it. Whenever you're signing up for something free,
You're the product.
That's spam. Now they know you're a pet owner, a dog owner, the breed, its age. You can sell that data off for, once the volume of the data grows, so does, now that most consumer purchases are made online, online marketing firms and data brokers are willing to shell out, a fair amount of money for those.
Of course.
Contact.
So you're not making money though on these chips though, right? You're selling. Tell me how you're making money. You're selling to the vet, right?
We are providing inventory to vets. Yes, I would love to sell to vets, but it's basically like we give them an inventory of chips. We provide them with kiosks, scanners, marketing literature. They bill the pet owner, and then we bill the vet. It's essentially a win-win for everybody. And
I see. How do you know how much to bill the vet each month? Is it based off how many of their customers they've got to sign up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we obviously any organization, whether you're selling red sweaters or milk, you're going to know exactly where your inventory was shipped, right? So we can track it by lot number, by range of microchips, and then we can bill them just real time. We know exactly.
I see. What so what are you billing the average vet today per month? Are we talking like $100 a month or like 10,000 a month?
So on average, throughout all our hospitals, it works out to be about 488 implants a month.
And is that a dollar? Is that a dollar per implant or something?
No, they actually right now, and this is kind of causing some contention because we have to raise our pricing. Some vets are charging about $80 for a one-time fee. Some vets are charging as low as $40 for a one-time fee. And then we are literally going halfway with the vets on it. So
you don't have a fixed rate. You go a percent off their revenue.
We bill them for every pet that is implanted. Not only do we,
Yeah, but as a percent of what they're charging, you're not setting the pricing.
It depends on where they are in the country. Like cities like New York, Austin, Boston, they're willing to obviously pay a little more, whereas cities in, I don't know, in the Midwest, certain places, they are not going to charge as much.
Well, so what are you billing me? If I'm a hospital in the Midwest with 488 implants, what bill am I getting from Piva most likely each month for about how much money?
Multiply that times 20. It works out to be, just on average. I mean, we have it broken down per hospital that we bill. So, if it's a 488 times whatever that is times 20. So
10 grand a month.
Yeah, 10 or 11,000 a month.
Interesting.
I would say.
And how can they pay that if they're only charging the dog owner $80 one time?
We literally know what their price points are, and we split right up the middle. So we know what they are charging.
So it's not recurring then. If they charge $80 one time and then it's free after that, you're only making 50% of $80 one time.
Right. As of right now, barriers to entry. We're industry newcomer. We're competing against the status quo, which are owned by companies like Merck and Henry Sheen and, multi-billion-dollar organizations that have been around since the 90s. We got to come in and just basically say, take some scanners, take some kiosks, use us. Let's make you guys money, right? It was a really, really comfortable, Nathan, I'm not going to blow smoke. It was a really, really comfortable situation at the beginning.
Well, what do you mean? Like, what was revenue in 2020?
Like, I essentially was in a company. We didn't have to worry about social media. Our veterinary partners were essentially doing sales for us. Okay. So we were just billing them. It just totally neglected social, Facebook, all that stuff just wasn't important.
No, Michael, I get all this, but like help. So like how many folks are on the team? You can quantify this by saying how small your team is today, right? So how many are on the team full time today?
Okay. As of today, there are 14 of us.
Okay. Interesting. So, and they're all full time.
Yeah. So,
and you're bootstrapped or you decide to raise?
We are bootstrapped.
Love that.
We've finally gotten to the point where we're making more money than we're spending.
You're profitable today then?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going through this quick because we're about out of time and I just want to get more of the data here. So you're profitable, team of 14, bootstrapped, which we love. How many individual hospitals or vets are you in today that use you, individual customers?
It's 251 at the moment. Hospitals.
Wow. Okay. So you think across the 251, you've got about 176,000 installs.
Installs. Yes. Now, obviously there are more non-paying customers, obviously.
I see
a shit ton more. But what's really made us the most money recently, especially this year over last year, and we're talking about like 1,200% over, is the online stuff.
Michael, hold on. Before you tell the online story though, so what total revenue last year was about how much? Did you guys break $1 million?
Yes.
Okay. 2 million or no, between 1 and 2?
So I don't really, I'm a single dad. I don't really like to share a lot of that information unless I have to. In print, no problem. $79 is a barrier fee. I don't have to worry about certain people reading things, but anything that's
wait, sorry, Michael. Why does a single dad have to do with how much data you share?
Well, it's not data. It's how much money I'm making.
Got it. Well, yeah. Look, I'm trying to understand the. I want to respect obviously any boundaries you set up, but I'm trying to understand the business, right? So, if you did more than $1 million in 2020, and then you said you grew over 1,200% year over year.
No, we grew 1,200% over. We have like between January 1 month to date or year to date, from January 1 to today, October 26, over last year, we've grown over 1,200% over 21.
So if you're growing from a base of $1 million, 1,200%, that would put you,
So again, you're getting a little confused between the B2C stuff and the B2B stuff, right? It's two separate, it's two totally separate sales.
Michael, I'm just talking about revenue. I didn't talk B2B, B2C. I'm just
revenue. So all across the board, this year over last year at this time, we've made 991.8% over last year, 20.
Over full year last year or just January to October last year?
January to October 26th of last year.
Got it. You've made 900 times more revenue in that same period.
Percent, not 900.
Sorry, percent, 900%. I meant to say 9x. Your 9x increase would be 900%.
Correct.
I see. When you say that there's a B2C model that I'm not understanding, you're right. I don't understand that. What are you selling to consumers? You're not selling direct to consumers. You're taking a percent of what the vet sells to their consumers.
No. So think of it as two different lines of business. Okay. So straight to consumer is register any brand of microchip with Piva online. So as an added layer of protection, pet owners that have chips, pets implanted with chips offered by our competitors will register with Piva for a handful of reasons. We have different features and functions. As of right now, we don't have an annual subscription model. We're a little more expensive on the front end, but we can say pay once, protect your pet for life. We also make what is called our API available to other legitimate registries, so they don't have to register with the primary registry a second time, because that if somebody out of our network searches in another database, they'll say this pet was registered with Piva on such and such date, and then our telephone number will display. So
got it. You're not making money though on it. That's free. It's a free registration database for anyone with a dog.
No, it's $54.95
per month or per year.
Per year.
Per year. Okay, got it. So you charge consumers directly. They put their dog in your system to make sure that if their dog is stolen, you can find them or something like that.
I misspoke. It's a one-time fee as of right now for $54.95.
I see. The reason a dog owner would do that though is if their dog gets lost or stolen, and then the person who stole it, the robber, takes them to a vet. Boom, it's going to get flagged, and you're going to help them recover the dog.
Absolutely.
Okay, got it. Model makes sense to me.
Yeah. Until now, it didn't really benefit vets to actually scan a dog for a microchip, because then they had to start searching through all these different registries. So by making the transfer of this vital health information quick and easy, it saves them time, right? And that saves them money, and then provides better quality of care.
Yep. Michael, makes sense. We're out of time. Let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, favorite book.
Catcher in the Rye.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Mike Bloomberg is ultimately my favorite CEO.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building Piva?
ASP.net.
Mm-hmm. Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
About 7.
Okay, very good. And I think you mentioned not married, one kiddo, more kids?
One right now.
One right now. Okay. And last question, something you wish you knew when you were, how old are you today? And then something you wish you knew when you were 20.
I am 45 years old today. Something that I wish I knew when I was 20. Do not start a tech company unless you have a tech co-founder, or learn as much about code as you possibly can. And
And there you have it. Piva.co, launched to help you not only keep track of your dog or your animals in general in case they're lost or stolen, but also to make sure all your medical records from the vet perspective all stay in one place. So you can have that history. They've shipped 300,000 of these chips. They believe about 176,000 have actually been installed, and did over $1 million in revenue last year with a team of 14, bootstrapped, which we love. Michael, thanks for taking us to the top.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com /Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.